That is, yes. Let me give you this one example. Once I tell you to win the lottery today, and if I tell you to get every single day a new skill, what can you choose among those both ones? I believe that some of people are going to tell me that they can win the lottery, or we can take in the place of the lottery, we can even put $5,000. Just once I tell you to get that immediately, and I tell you among those both ones, I tell you to get $5,000 immediately, and I tell you to get one more school or to learn a new skill every single day. I know that some of people can choose getting the match immediately. So now today we want to talk about it's the second part of the video that we talked about the last time. You know that the last time we talked about some skills that we've got to make sure that we are learning, we are putting into practice to make sure that our life is going forward. And then I told you about some ones, and then today we are going to keep on with others. The last time I told you that you've got to develop your clarity, you've got to develop your discipline and others. So now today we are going now to talk about the second part. I know that the last time we couldn't finish about it. Now today we're going to keep on with it, because you know that once we've been talking about that today, the last time, today now we are going to keep on, and believe that this video is going to be the more helpful one. Just before talking about it, for today I'm really sorry, because the last time I finished 2 weeks without even giving even one video. I'm sorry for that, for really, you know, that life, just also, you know, about life. Now I was more taken, but I believe that we are going to keep on talking about marvelous and things which are more helpful. So now the third one, because the last time we talked about developing clarity and discipline. Now today we're going to talk about the third one. Just if you couldn't follow it, go and follow the video which is here down. So now the third one that we're going to talk about, that thing that you've got to develop, you've got to develop your communication. You know that some more people in this world are successful because they don't even work hard, they don't even think bigger than others, they don't even do more special things than others, but they are successful because they know how to communicate, okay? They know how to talk. Once they are in front of people, they usually talk, they talk better. You know, some of people, you know, once you know how to talk, once you know how to open your mouth, once you know when to talk and when to stop talking, now let me tell you that for really, once you develop that thing, once you develop your communication, then you can go forward. That's why also you've got to know how to talk. Let me give you this example. Do you remember the last time that I've been talking with the last person? Do you remember about the person that you've been talking about with, and then he listened to you? Just once you try to remember about that, you will know that once you would ever talk to somebody and then he followed you so much, now you were attractable. Okay, now you talked everything that you should talk. So now also you've got to know when to talk and when to stop talking. You've got to know when to stop speaking. You've got to know when to speak, because you know, somebody who wants to be more successful in life, he doesn't talk so much, but he listens so much. That's why also you've got to know that you've got to make sure that you are listening before talking, because you know that once you listen to somebody, now there you learn some more new skills than somebody who's talking, because you know that somebody who's talking, like I'm talking to you, but you are the ones who are listening, and then there you are getting more news, more information than what I know. That's why you've got to make sure that also you are developing your skill of communicating. Once I'm sorry, once I talk about a skill of communication, doesn't mean that you've got to only speak, but you've got also to know when to listen and when to talk, because that can develop more people, and then that can let you go forward, because you are going to be attractable, and most of people are going to come to you. That's why, guys, once also you want to go forward, once you want to be among more people who are really successful, you've got to know that, to know how to speak. Let me give you the example of Barack Obama. Barack Obama was the best speaker, because once he was in front of people, while speaking for really, he attracted more people. That's why also once you wanna go forward, you've got to know when to speak. Okay, you learn how to speak. There are more different books which are talking about speaking. There's also now you've got to make sure that you are developing that because it's more helpful. So now let's talk about I believe now it's going to be the fourth one. You've got to develop the skill of learning and adaptation. Okay, you've got to develop the skill of learning and adaptation. You know, most people whom are in this world, they are people who learn every single day. That's why I told you that you don't have to stop learning, because life never stops teaching. So now you've got to make sure that for real you are learning. Okay, you are learning every single day. You learn because once now you are learning, there it allows you to go forward and you adapt yourself. Once you reach in a bad situation, you know when to learn, and once you reach in a bad situation, you adapt yourself. You know that it's temporary, you know that at whenever it can get the end. That's also you've got to make sure that you are adapting and you are learning, because that one is something which is more helpful. So now I believe that we are going to talk about the fifth one and the last one. You've got to develop your emotions. You know how to control your emotions. There are some people whom the emotions control them. Once somebody inside you, once you have an anger, once you are not good, and then you take some decisions which are not good. Also, you've got to know how to control your emotions. Once you have a bad one, so let me give you this example. Have you ever reached in a situation and then you write to somebody a message, and after that you wish you cleansed the message? Why? Because you took the decision without thinking so much. Also that you've got to make sure that for real you are controlling your emotions. Your emotions is something that you've got to make sure that you know how to control. So now I love you so much. Thank you so much for your time given today. Let's keep on the last time. Thank you so much and love you so much.